Hi there, this is Åsa with a new Scrapbook Process video. The last couple of maybe months or at least weeks, the videos that I have been watching on YouTube have been a lot about making your own kits. And it's been preparation for special events like going to crops and such. And at first I didn't think that I did that, and I especially don't make kits, but I do make page kits, and sometimes those kits get lost in my cupboard and I don't do anything with them. So I decided to jump on the train and pretty much just get them done, or take them apart and put them back into the different piles where the pieces belong. And here I'm showing you the stack of pre-planned layouts that I had in my cupboard at the time, and this is the one that I'll be working with today. So for the coming layouts here in my channel, I'll be working with these kits, and if you just keep this flip through in mind, not all of them will end up as layouts, because I have some of them I will just realize that I don't want to work with this, and then I will take the kits apart and just move on to another. But these are the ones I have. The reason why I chose this page kit to start with was the fact that I really wanted to use those photos. I wanted them to be a part of our album, and it felt important. These are the photos from last year, when my daughter made her first efforts to try to ride the bicycle without the support wheels. So this was obviously something very important in our lives, and it was also hilarious, especially when you look back at it, because these were kind of moments when we had huge fight. Since she was a bit scared of the whole process, her temper, it became anger. And my hubby was the one that mainly tried to support her and convince her to keep trying, and they always came back, and they were in such a huge fight. But when you look back at it, it's kind of fun, because I guess it's very common, and it's a milestone. Nevertheless, that they did this, and that it was kind of hard and painful and tough, but I think that these things are also the ones that bring you more together, that you've done these things together and that you were struggling together. So even though they were fighting, I think it became something very, very dear to them. Now the biking goes a lot better, and we are looking forward to more outings with the bicycles this summer, and hopefully we can go for longer walks, and the kids can be on their bicycles, and that's something that I'm looking forward to a lot, because I really want to go out on walks in the neighborhood, and that's something that I've been missing when the kids have been in this after stroller kind of period in life. So I'm looking forward to the biking from another kind of perspective. So I have 3 photos of them preparing for going on a test run, and then hubby is running next to our daughter when she is actually biking on her own. And lovely photos. The photos are also wonderful because she's wearing really fun colored clothes. She has a pink skirt and a striped summer colored t-shirt, and she's got bright orange stockings. And her legs actually look like, you know, those birds that wade in shallow water looking for food. and I think it looks so just wonderful, sweet and fun. The papers that I had chosen for this page kit are from different collections of summer paper from last year. I think that hexagon paper, it might be a Bobani paper, but I'm not sure. I had a couple of summer collections last year, and some odd pieces of paper, so I'm not really sure where it's from. So I had bits and pieces left, so and I'll use both sides. The back side of that hexagon paper is this spring green shade that's really that coordinates very well with everything in the photos, and of course with the hexagons. So I wanted to make as much color difference and still have room for the photos. So I think I'll just piece together a background there that hides the white in the background paper. The matting for the photos I made by just going to my 6x6 paper storage and pick out the whole bunch of yellows that I have there, and chose a couple that I thought fit the color scheme. And I think I even went a little bit brighter or yellow towards the more orange to highlight her wonderful stockings there. And I still think that my 6x6 paper storage is the best in the whole world, because I easily get to use up my whole 6x6 paper pads, even those odd and difficult pieces that are left last in the paper stacks. They are soon used up when I have them color sorted like this. Yeah, now you see pretty much the foundation of the whole layout. I wanted to frame the layout a bit, so I'm making a pen line around the patterned pieces of paper there, and I'm using a rather broad, or like a thick pen. I think it's almost a millimeter thick, perhaps 0.7 or something like that, and it gives a really nice and bold black line. I was not pleased with only one line, so I made another at the edge of the white paper, and this really frames the whole thing, and it almost creates like a painting frame for the layout. And you see still one of the photo blocks sticks out into the frame a bit, but I think that only creates interest for the eye. I had a bunch of bicycle themed embellishments, and I had actually saved them in a special zip lock bag for these special photos. I have a couple more that will hopefully get in my album also when time comes, and I have a couple left, and I realize that I'm getting new bicycle themed embellishments with time, so I hopefully I have, so that I can make more clusters like these in the future. But these special ones that I have here, I've saved for these special photos, or the event of my daughter learning to ride the bicycle without her support wheels. And now I'm making clusters so that I can use these bicycles on the layout. I had a star pattern paper from, I think it's from Simple Stories, one of their Disney collections, and I made half circles with that, and then I had some just yellow pieces there which will become banners. And then I also had some leftovers from when I made the photo mat that I will use just to create small pieces for layering on the clusters. And I think that I grounded these embellishments quite alright, or pretty okay on the page. To continue the style of going over the edge into the frame, I will make that with these clusters as well. So on the top cluster, the little circle with the stars will go into the frame, and on the lower left cluster, the little banner there will go over the edge. And I think that made a very nice impact on the page, and it is that rather hard method of, if something feels odd, bring more of that kind. So that's just the theory behind why I do this. So I have the photo block and the banner and the half circle all going into the white frame. So now just making a couple of more things here to place in my clusters. Some green banners from the green backside paper, and I'll continue with some smaller bits and pieces as well. I really enjoyed making this layout because this was one that I had given a lot of thought over a long period of time, and that's something that feels really like you have accomplished something when you're done with it. And this is obviously an important moment in someone's life when you learn how to ride the bicycle. I even remember when I learned to ride the bicycle, it was in this very stressful period in my childhood when we moved from the island Gotland to where my mother still lives today. And I remember we were in the parking lot outside the apartment building where we lived in Visby, and my parents were running behind me, and I had this fright in my whole body. Don't let go, please don't let go. But I don't think really my parents were in the shape to actually run behind a kid like that on a bicycle, because you have to have this speed not to have your balance. and they always let go. And I have this don't let go in my head and in my soul, I think, still. And this will be the title of this page, Don't Let Go. And I cut it out in black cardstock on the silhouette, and in Swedish it's Släpp, inte, and with the exclamation marks to kind of state the sincereness or the importance of this feeling, don't let go. And not to ever remember or ever forget, never forget the hardship of this learning process. I'm writing the journaling at the lower part of the page, just to remind us about how tough it was, and the bonding process between father and daughter during this period of time. Here are some close-ups of the finished page, and I hope that you have enjoyed this process with me. Take care, see you soon. This is Åsa. Bye!